Mbega nkemfo Alexander. Bo egwe nkemfo Yvonne Ngey.
Yes, dear viewer, you are welcome back again to this second segment where we'll be looking at the message of His Majesty, the Fon of Fontem, to, I will call them contractors and ghost workers in the bank. The Fon of Fontem spoke yesterday, and again today he was speaking just about 30 or so ago at St. Clair Parish in Minji. Terence, I would like to start by playing that clip for that. We'll listen to it before we actually go into the.
So the shiver will be good to me, all those of no shoot more leban. What will be war, non temo leban mercy. What will tribute to yin that I feel the will of you cut leban at a which you should a group. No ye the Malangam I mazi, getting the pure leban. The bums the label. And when they will treat up your leban, then they are here. And about you. No, but I know use opportunity and your permission, Bishop. I also anyone you attribute to contractor or actors and you attribute to. I don't put the back. You can go. Maybe you were chairman past parish pastoral council here. I get able to mean here church is your need. In get able notes. In get a can be a father. In get a pretend and the bishop. Ever more cap is a baby. Baby, you could be a tasking the school of you or by home. Be your name cap and a public school, baby. Maybe your name cap and a pitable man's baby. Maybe your name cap and a dance. SME can listen to my mingy. And the give contract when you will feel on pittance. Able walk trick and caption it at us and go, my moment and then will be the brothers and me more. Using Bogan. Be take home good or be the work good. We see one center and get a has a bishop along food. And why has made the one for that party any more Lebang. Mamma, ya doesn't go more Lebang, I'm going to see what you until Lebang. And get more fear word with you. Zapping Lebang when you see one more fee and who get them up at 2 best, and then I 2 year Lebang. With your Parana Egipio, no Egipio, no grandson.
Terence. Yeah, that was the Fon speaking. I think the message, that short clip, is just about maybe 2.5 minutes, but he said a lot, and he finally concluded by pleading, say, asking people to unite. But at the same time, he sent a very clear message to all those that were awarded contract and abandoned them, and those that did not even do them at all, that they should come back and finish it. And also said that those that are supposed to be working in the bank, that they are stationed somewhere and are receiving salary, that they will not take it lightly. I think this is a message that people have been asking for maybe for more than a month now, but the fund finally spoke, and he spoke so firmly. Why do you think it took the fund this long to come out with this kind of message?
Dr. Kumber, the Fon has spoken, and the Fon has spoken clearly, forcefully, and emphatically. And issues of royalty, matters of royalty, are not just the way people see it. The Fon, as you know, generally in our custom, the Fon usually likes to talk to his people directly. The Fon, royalty, our the forebear, our ancestors, those who really know the culture, know that the phone needs to talk to his people directly, face to face, right? And we people need to know this. And that's why when people were complaining, you know, we would have conversations with the phone privately. We understood that this is not, the phone is not going to come on social media for everything, especially things of significance like this, right? The phone is not going to use social media to initiate that message. The phone needed an opportunity, first, from where his power resides, which is a palace. That's
Mm-hmm.
where my great grandfather comes from. He needed to start from there and then beam out that message to the community. And I think the phone has met the moment. And the phone has always met the moment. I know, as we always say, people are always expecting so much and wanting people to do things their way. But again, the culture is very different. It operates very differently and has to get things right. Because when the phone does it wrong, these same people come and criticize the phone. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
leadership is very hard, But again, as a post, people criticize. You see how people are criticizing me. You go right, they criticize you. You come left, they criticize you. They even impugn your character. They accuse you of things you've not done. That is leadership in Lebang and everywhere else. But I think the phone has spoken, and everybody has to take this seriously.
Yes, because I mean, this guy, no, sorry, the phone is speaking without reading, without a script. He spoke. I mean, if you compare the two species when he spoke at Mazi yesterday, that I think we blended it with the because of airtime, we blended it with the bishop visit at Mary Head of Africa. If you listen again to what he's saying here, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same message.
Yes. He talked about peace, talked about unity, he talked about accountability, he talked about life.
Yeah.
Director,
Mhm.
you need to know how the Lebang man, how distinct the Lebang person is compared to other tribes.
Mhm.
Taking a life is not a very common phenomenon in our place.
Culture.
It's not. Okay. We've had issues of disunity, which is kind of common when you have communities. But taking people's lives has never been our way of resolving differences, especially political differences, right? It's
Mhm.
a new thing that this has brought. And sadly, there are some of our people poaching that line, you know, talking to the actors that are doing this, influencing them to do what this type of havoc. And I think the phone is gonna keep preaching because this is his land. This is his land, and there is no better message from the phone. People he has, like a shepherd, has to lead his people, and the phone has been pretty consistent. And you can imagine you becoming phone, and just a few years after you have taken and you're trying to get your feet on the ground, the crisis hit, and people start vilifying you, start going after you. Even your own family members, some of your own family members start going after you. And I would also take the opportunity to say, like my grandmother Ota Asaba, and my own great grandmother Onkang Asaba used to say, Ngo atabang le fo fontem le fondam. Mo ya ro fontem ate bo because le fo fontem me le fo le bang. Bio le bang. Me bang le fo zunget. The
Mhm.
phone is not speaking as Asabatong. The phone is speaking as the phone of Fontem. And he's speaking on behalf of all Lebang people. And for those who think they can create disorder, keep their knee on the neck of Lebang, they're lying. Hey, they can take history and they can go back to history and look. Lebang is never going to fall because Lebang is not a one-person thing. Okay, it's Lebang people. It is never going to fall. For people who had this vain hope, and they continue to orchestrate what they are doing behind the scenes, they can rest assured they
And
protect
exactly, Terence, and exactly, I think this will really, I mean, the fund asking these people that it's high time, if they are taking any money, right, to do
correct,
this project, let them come back and do it.
correct.
He's not, yeah, I mean, he's still at the very preliminary say, he said, I think he mentioned yesterday, just in one gap, that he's warning them that they should come back and finish this work. And I hope they better toe the line and go complete those projects. As we speak, there's still no water in Menji.
Yes. So, I think I align with the fund. My philosophy is always solution oriented, as I've told people. We can beat each other, beat at the problem, but at the end of the day, let's focus on the solution. And some of us are going to help. As I said, I come from Menji. Um, I am not personally like a person who grew up in Minji. We're not going to let Minji really suffer beyond what he has suffered. But we're going to work with every contractor, everybody who can help to mend fences, to make sure that the contracts that we're giving are done. I don't think any Lebang person wants to put anybody in jail or
Yeah,
wants any legal this thing. But the other thing is, we also need to be honest that Benangun care also means there must be accountability. And accountability means that if they are giving the contractors the opportunity to come and do this work, finish this contract, they have a second chance, then they should come and finish this contract, right? And if they do not, then that is where they're going to see the full weight and might and power of Lebang coming together to make sure there is accountability. But I also caution people to note that we should give some time here because I think now the dry season has started. The expectation is that many of these people would resume work or would come complete the contracts or ameliorate what they didn't do well. But that time frame has to be reasonable. These people cannot just drag the clock out and keep dragging because people's expectations have to be met. The contract was given, the government gave 100 million so that people can have water. It didn't give 100 million that somebody should come and construct a fake tank or somebody should come and put fake pipes. No, that's people can, the community of
can
Menji
have
can
drinking
still have
water. I
clean
mean, we are here talking water, the basic
yeah.
of human life. Apart
Thank
from,
you.
and after air that we breathe is water.
Yeah, water makes over 70% of the human
Of the
body.
human body. I
You
mean,
know, it's
I'm
the
sure
most
that,
essential, apart from air, which is not regulated, water is the most essential natural resource that the human body needs.
yeah,
And it's a source of, if you don't have good water, people have illnesses. There are people dying because of lack of clean, potable water.
water.
Okay, there's also our development being hampered. There are people who are supposed to move back to the village. They are not able to move because there's not this basic amenity is not there.
There.
You see, older people, look at what is happening. People have to go fetch water in small springs, right? Small springs that are far away. How can an old woman, a mommy, an elder who
Yes,
wants to move
90,
back to his
90
village,
something
to
year
his
plus.
house, yeah,
90 something
how
year
can
plus.
they move back if they don't have, if they cannot fetch water, the water is not accessible. I think that these our people to contractors, they are all BLM people. As I looked at the list, 99% of these contractors are our BLM brothers. Please, would it take na God name back una? Please just come and help. We cannot layer problems over problems. The crisis has already hit us so much that we don't want again contractors hitting us like giving us double blows. I don't think that it makes sense. It doesn't make sense. And people have to know that there's judgment time, you know.
Yeah, I think they should do. Talking about ghost workers, all these workers that they are stationed elsewhere. Tell you, look at our health facility. I don't know. We keep thanking God that Maripoli Center or the Folklife or the Mary Head of African Hospital Fontem was there. If not, what do you think will be happening to us now?
My God.
Parents, you
Do
tell
you
me,
do you
what
remember
do you
what
think
was
if
happening
Mary
to
Head
us
of
before the
Africa,
Proclare came? Do
if
you
Mary Head
remember
of
what
Africa
was
was not there,
happening?
the hospital in Minji, the hospital at Azi, the health center at Bindia, the one and the one and Wenchen, that was B and was never completed. Now there was another image for another one that was at Mbo or Njinacha area towards Mbo, that was B and was never routed. I mean, come on, a health
Yes. So
center.
so now you see we Belgian cat when they say they lied, it also means that we also want to be fair and objective. That there are contracts that were given at the heart of the crisis that were just impossible to be executed. But I also want to caution because again, I know I am more privileged than others to have a lot more information than most people do. We also want to caution that there's, even though at that time we say it was the heart of the conflict, the crisis, and people things could not be done. It also appears that even though things could not be done, some people check those boxes as the projects were completed, covers were
Completed.
completed. I'm talking 2018, 2019, 2020, as far back as that. And people need to also understand there is this information, right? Information it's available. So you have that. But again, I don't think it would help us to go back to when things were impossible. It might also be important for accountability to look at, and I think those information will be released at a certain point by the mayor and his team, since he indicated. So that's the expectation. He indicated that he's willing to release information. I think we would really focus on the projects that we have now. The projects that we had then, people can look at that in terms of accountability, and whatever they can rescue, they can rescue. But right now, as you rightly said, imagine if we had these integrated health centers working well. The program that we devised for that Likudu USA Health campaign team devised, which was to decentralize our healthcare initiatives. Just imagine we will be able to even further decentralize them. We wouldn't just have AZI, we wouldn't just have NJA, AZI, Takwe, and Menkia in Fonjumeto, would even further decentralize to many more health centers so that we reach many more elderlies wherever they are, because they don't have the strength to walk to Mva or to walk to Fonjumeto Health Clinic, right? So, because we do not have this infrastructure, it is also limiting a lot
Yes,
of
yes,
people.
because you cannot actually carry on a health fair
Yeah,
or a health campaign or medical outreach screening where you don't have the facilities.
it's just crazy. You can see how this type of embezzlement has a multiplier negative effect on the
Yeah,
community, because
no,
even
but
people would have used that facility
I
to
mean
help
that's why I'm
come
asking.
and help.
That's why I just asking that. Where have we been for all this while? Like the one in Wenchen that was built long before the crisis. The one in Geneche that was built almost at the point, not in Bo, that would be almost at the point of the safe renovation. Then it was just like that. Okay, now the one and in Bindia that resurfaced, that they actually gave money, they went and did some renovation work. The medical equipment is lying in Chang. The nurse is somewhere in Chang, receiving salary, supposed to be and being there. She's not there. And we just think that this is very normal.
You know why I'm laughing? You know why I'm smiling, Dr. Kuba?
Mhm.
Um, Many of you seem to be new to this chronic problem. Now you look at it from an acute point, right? That it's now. But some of us, as I said, when I was working in Fontema, I think I'm one of the few who has really worked on the ground across so many communities in the BLM, right? And who was also very involved with the development, and who was also very connected to the council, the Menji Council. I used to be like a consultant for the council. The problems of contract, mismanagement of contract funds, public contracts, did not start before the crisis, did not start during and after the crisis. Did not, sorry, during the crisis. This problem is as old as we have existed. It used to be the petition writers used to help solve the problem. But once the politics changed and we started having people who were now taking projects, who were a lot of heavyweights, it kind of discouraged people willing to write petitions. Because usually in the past, when it started, mostly people who were non-Lebang, who came and took contracts, were the ones abusing the opportunity because they were not patriotic. At that time, we were considering them unpatriotic. My uncle, Kemkang David, who was big, a fighter and a petition writer, right? Fighting, had a lot of fights with people, and the people had to come and redo public contracts. At that time, they were dealing mostly with people who are not Lebang, right? But after when you got Lebang people taking contracts and you had some heavyweight taking contracts, it really discouraged accountability, because how are you going to go fight these timbers, these trees that are, so if now that because of the crisis, we look at our development architecture, look at the situation, we see that we have moved 50 years behind, and we need to catch up. If this is gonna alert people now, make people more aware, conscious, that's a good thing. But the issue with mismanagement of public contracts did not start with the crisis. Again, listen to me. I
Yeah,
can name you
because
projects. No?
it's just so shame that Menji will not have a council building. There's no office. There's nothing. What we used to say council hall. You go to every municipality, you see that's a council building. Then the council will have even a hall that they use in generating revenue, where students can organize social gathering party for free. Because those are community kind of. It's just so much
Yeah, but again,
bad.
do not be despair. Don't speak in despair. I think, as I said, I always like to be solution oriented. Our nonprofit is going to do a lot of work with partners and local development institutions to build capacity, to do sensitization and awareness creation, to do um, strengthening of our existing institutions, because a lot of times these things happen because you really do not have structures on the ground to help the contractors also. We don't have to always see this as a fight between us and the contractors, but we have to approach this and approach our contractors, as I always say, with the spirit of love and spirit of assistance. How can we help you? You know, Mr. Contractor, you've been given this contract. What does it entail? How can we as a community assist and make your life easier? And I'll tell you, because I do a lot of that. I do a lot of that, where they give a road project like the main road, and people are facing challenges, and I would come in and they'll reach out to me, and I'll try to break some of those barriers, facilitate their job. People who were disagreeing with them, bring them together and open up those doors for the contractors to come and do a good contract. So there's a lot that we have to look at this comprehensively. It's not just blaming the contractors, but how can we make the contractors have very legitimate concerns, Dr. Kumba. It is good we also listen to that side of the equation, so that we are fair, we are balanced, constructive, and result oriented.
No, but I think as of now, we have not even had any one contractor, apart from one person who came public and said he built a school toilet at Belua, that the door were left because of the crisis, which I hope he will go back and complete it. Apart from that, like I said, even the fund, by his own word, he still, even when he was sending a warning message, but he's still pleading that they should come and complete it and make it well, so that we shouldn't get into issues. We are peace-loving people, and I think I want to thank him for that. I think, we'll continue to at least urge this contractor, the Menji Council, that they should maybe put their acts together and figure out what to do with this work. So I think that is a simple truth. If the contract, if you keep that money thinking that maybe it was the money in private bank, go get them and go complete this work, and let's put this to rest and move forward to the next phase of the life. I hope so. Thank you so much. I think again, I want to just say that the funeral for Kenny Comfort will be on Friday the 13th, 2024 in Atlanta. I think the flyer is out there. It will be circulating in many of the WhatsApp. So next Friday, I know a lot of Cameroonian, especially Liberian community, will converge in Atlanta to give her a farewell. And the GoFundMe line too is still open. That if you have anything, you can contribute towards that as well. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Director.
yeah.
Chong wali alandia, ambega kung fu Alexander.